Okay, now we'll have a special recognition tonight for a place that many of us have known for many, many years.
I used to go.
And tonight we're going to celebrate the 100th anniversary of a place that I got my first haircut in. 2 years ago? No. A number of years ago that the Central Barber Shop has been Mayberry's got Floyd's, and Lenoir, we've got the Central Barber Shop. And that's the place that we get to go and enjoy and talk and not only get your hair cut, but learn about all kind of things. It's been downtown Lenoir for all these years. I remember back when it was on West Avenue, and you guys do as well, and it faced west, and I had the big picture windows, and we could sit there in the chair, get your hair cut, watch the traffic and people coming in, and enjoy that. And then, of course, it moved to where it is now, there on Main Street. It's probably been several different locations, and we'll talk about that in a minute here. But Terry Hall and his son Alan bought the barbershop some years ago, and I'll probably read that in a few minutes. And it's been just a wonderful place. I was going to say I got my hair cut first by D.C. Barnes. He was my next door neighbor of the family. He was like my godfather growing up. But he gave me my first haircut sitting on one of those boards in the chair and in the barbershop. And I don't remember that exactly, but I know that that's what they told me anyway, that we were there. But he and Phil Atkins and Mr. Knowles, A.J. Knowles, were all in the barbershop. And gosh, there's been so many more. But what a great place, and what just all the memories that we have there. We've certainly enjoyed. So I'm going to ask Alan if you want to come up, and Dad, you're welcome to. If you want Phil too, you can. You want to stay? Okay, you're fine on that. But I'd like to first present you this proclamation, this resolution, to say how much we've appreciated that you have been here in our community for so many years. You hadn't been here 100 years, but anyway, you represent what has been, and we're really excited about that. But I'm going to read this. Central Barber Shop celebrates 100 years of business. Whereas the Central Barber Shop opened in downtown Lenoir on May the 11th, 1922, in a room in the Miller Building next to the Caldwell County Courthouse. And whereas Central Barber Shop later moved from the Miller Building to 138 Main Street, which sits at the corner of West Avenue and Mulberry Street. And whereas Terry Hall started working as a barber in Lenoir in 1961 and bought the Central Barber Shop 10 years later in 1971. And whereas in 1976, Terry Hall bought the building located on the northwest corner of the square in downtown Lenoir and moved Central Barber Shop to its current location at 211 Main Street, where it has operated for the past 46 years. And whereas Terry Hall's son, Alan, started working as a barber at the Central Barber Shop in 1995, and Terry retired from Central Barber Shop in 2009. And whereas Alan has worked at the Central Barber Shop for the past 27 years, along with fellow barbers Mark Gentry for 18 years and Chris Whitaker for 14 years. And whereas barbershops have traditionally been a place where men can socialize, take a break from their daily routine, meet like-minded people, and build friendships with other men in the community. And whereas the Central Barber Shop has served the Lenoir community for 100 years. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, as mayor of the city and on behalf of the Lenoir City Council, congratulate Central Barber Shop on its centennial celebration and thank Terry Hall and Alan Hall for building their business in Lenoir, investing their time and talents in our community, and giving our residents friendship, camaraderie, and excellent haircuts. I guess is that big? That's for 100 years. This the 19th day of July, 2022. Thank you, sir. You're very welcome. Get a picture. And I got one other thing we'd like for you to have and display in the shop. And this is our city flag that we are presenting to you. That's the City of Lenoir flag. This is presented to Central Barber Shop in recognition of their centennial anniversary from 1922 through 2022 by the Lenoir City Council. We hope you will hang that with pride, and when people walk in, they'll know this is a special place to be.
That's awesome. That's nice.
Can't say you need a haircut a little bit. Can you get him in?
After hours price a little bit more. We'd like to thank the council for this recognition. That's a very nice thing to do. I know with the city of Lenoir, seen a lot of businesses come and go, and then there's those businesses that just won't go away, and that's our business. But we appreciate being uptown Lenoir. I want to thank also the mayor's brother, Mike Gibbons. He was kind of instrumental in giving us a lot of information. He has a lot of the records of the transactions and things that happened, because we honestly didn't know how old we were for a long time. We've got a price list at the barbershop from 1926, so we knew we was a little older than that. And 4 barbershops signed that list, agreeing on prices for services. So there was a little price collusion going on back in the day, but that doesn't go on now, I assure you. But I would like to recognize some folks, because there's a lot of folks that were involved in this. I'm glad the mayor mentioned some of those folks, Mr. Barnes, Knowles, Atkins, and I heard those names, but I didn't really know who they were. And I'll just start with my dad. He started in Lenoir cutting hair for Mr. Earl Fox in the basement that's across from the city hall where the bakery's at now. And he cut hair there for 10 years before coming to Central Barber Shop. I barely remember. I was just being scared going down those steps as a kid. But he bought Central Barber Shop, and of course, had enjoyed growing up over there. Also in the back, Mary, will you raise your hand? That's Mary Sudruth. That's the widow of the late Bill Sudruth.
Oh, yeah.
And that's her daughter Jill on the left, and her granddaughter Callie on the right there. But Bill also cut hair in Lenoir for approximately 50 years. He actually started cutting hair in Avon Barber Shop, uptown Lenoir. And I always remember Bill telling me he started the winter. They had the snows every Wednesday, because he said, I thought I was going to starve to death. Nobody could get to the barber shop. It was a tough time. And I also remember Bill got his start in a barber shop shining shoes at a barber shop in Hudson. So Bill worked at Avon Barber Shop and then joined Central Barber Shop with my dad in the 70s. So Bill was very instrumental in the barber shop continuing. And I have to credit Dad and Bill back in the 60s and 70s when the long hair craze come in. That took out a lot of barbershops. But Dad and Bill kind of got retrained and learned how to do some of those hairstyles and stuff like that, and that kind of kept that going. I also had some other barbers, Larry McNeil, barbered for several years, Claude Spake, and then my cousin Barbara. If you remember Barbara, remember a girl working in the barbershop. It was my cousin. She worked for Central Barber Shop for 16 years. So she was instrumental in it. And then, like you said, we got Mark. Mark grew up getting his hair cut at Central Barber Shop. And then later on, as he was an adult, my dad talked to him about going to barber school. So that's how Mark ended up with us. And we got Chris 14 years ago, just out of barber school. And Chris actually met his wife at barber school, and they've started a shop in Wilkes County, but it's a kind of a rural area, so she's working that shop by herself. But Chris is working with us, and Chris's daughter has just started going to barber school, so we're seeing a little continuation on that. But I do appreciate this recognition, for this, and I think the city attorney informed me that after 100 years, the barber, a business that's been in business for 100 years, after that are exempt from property taxes. So we look forward to that.
I deny that.
We've been looking for a new attorney.
We'll let him take over what it costs. That's right.
Do y'all have any comments? Anybody? Okay. Again, just thank you for this. We appreciate being part of the fabric of Lenoir and have enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely a great place, and we enjoy having Central Barbers out there. I always enjoy going in to talk to you guys and catch up on all the news around town that I may not hear, but I get to hear it there. So it's always fun to do that. So thank you. Thank you for your business in our community and for being such a great part of it. And we look forward to another 100 years. You know, there's a lot of things going on this year that are 100. Lenoir High School is turning 100 this year. The American Legion is turning 100. We're going to celebrate with them in a few weeks. So with that, we got a lot of great things that are happening. But you guys are now officially an institution.